Super Bowl time, electric football style. That handsome gentleman is
Stu Pace, and that gorgeous specimen is
Steve Brown. All right, let's do it.
Super Bowl 50.
Go, Stu Pacer. Go, Stu Pacer. Go, Stu Pacer. Go.
Oh, Steve.
He's revving up the Mach 5.
All right, I'm going to start out with some interesting facts that I read on the internet. This will be only the second Super Bowl to feature the number one scoring offense, the Panthers, versus the number one total defense. The first such matchup was Super Bowl something or other. There's too many Roman numerals. I can't read that.
XLV.
In which Seattle's number one defense overwhelmed Peyton Manning. Interesting.
Eerie.
Cam Newton is aiming to become the first quarterback in the NFL history to win a college national championship, the Heisman Trophy, a Super Bowl, and the NFL MVP award.
The Cub Scout Pine Box Derby. He won the Scripps National Spelling Bee. He won a Nobel Peace Prize. Cam Newton hasn't found something that he can't win.
Yeah, except he can't win the Oscars because he's black.
And he can't win my love.
Anyway, a victory in this Super Bowl would give Peyton Manning his 200th career win, including playoffs. So he would be the only quarterback in history with 200-plus wins, surpassing Brett Favre with 199 wins. This will be the first Super Bowl in which both starting...
Whoa, time out. So Peyton Manning would be the most winning quarterback ever, including playoff victories?
200th career win, including playoffs.
Nobody else has hit 200?
Nope.
Wow. Good stats, Stu.
I did a lot of reading online today, and I'm reading it verbatim, so sue me. Anyway, this is the first Super Bowl in which both quarterbacks were former number one draft picks. Interesting. Broncos defense has not allowed a single rushing touchdown to a quarterback this season, including the playoffs. Cam Newton is tied with Steve Young for the most rushing touchdowns by any quarterback in NFL history, 43, regular season only stat.
Another good stat.
See, look at that. So those are my interesting stats that I read today that I want to share with all of you. So, Steve, why don't you start the discussion?
Oh, okay. I'm doing this one very simply. First off, I'll start with guys that I want to win a Super Bowl, and in this case, there's a few on each. Well, there's a few on the Carolina side, one on the Broncos side.
Okay. I think I know who the one is.
Well, I'm pulling for Jared Allen because of the Vikes connection, and because this is probably it for him. I hope his foot is healed enough that he can get in some significant plays.
Yeah, I'd love to see that too, actually.
I'm pulling for Thomas Davis because you've got to love a football player that comes off of like 3 knee injuries, breaks his arm, and says, I'm playing in the freaking Super Bowl. Like Jack Hacksaw Reynolds meet Thomas Davis. Thomas Davis meet Jack Hacksaw Reynolds. And the North Jersey connection, we got to pull for Greg Olsen. Plus, he's got a manly man beard. And on the Broncos side, I went through the whole roster and everything. The only guy that I'm really pulling for there is Peyton, but I'm pulling for him hard. I'm getting old enough that I'm falling for the nostalgic. There goes a guy that I've watched his whole career, and he's got one more shot. Can ride off into the sunset on that Bronco that won the Super Bowl, just like John Elway. So it's hard, and he does seem like crawfish shorts. I like your style.
I finally beat Bill Belichick.
Yeah, well, props to Dolphin. 3-0 against Tom Brady, right, in the AFC Championships
On the road.
So if you're going on emotionally, I like more guys on Carolina, but deeper, I like Peyton Manning. If you're going on guys I hate, I don't like Josh Norman, and I don't like Cortland Finnegan for their mouths and their feistiness. And on the Broncos, I don't like Ware. He's a hell of a player, but he's got the taint of the Cowboys to him. Now, quick analysis, and you know that I don't go too in-depth into the X's and O's, but Carolina can win this game so easily on both sides of the ball. On the offensive side of the ball, they let Miller and Ware try and do a quick rush, and they trap them, and they run the ball, and they pound the ball against Denver's front line and smaller linebackers. Cam Newton and Stewart just pounding the ball on the line. It is the simplest formula for success, and I don't see how Denver is really lined up to stop that.
Well, that was one of my keys to the game here. What Denver has to do is not rush the pocket, run past the pocket. You got to stay in there and clog up the gaps.
That's not what they're best at, though.
I know, but that's what they're going to have to do against this team.
Right, but when you're asked to do stuff that you cannot do well, it usually goes poorly, if you know what I'm
Oh,
saying.
I'm
Ask
just telling
me-
you, this is what they need to do. That's the blueprint they need to do to beat Cam Newton.
Ask me to drink, I'm fine. Ask me to drink and draw something, you're gonna get you're gonna get some ugly ass stuff. You're right. No, we agree on
Mhm.
that. And then on the defensive side, Carolina just stuffs the middle with their linebackers and dares Peyton to throw it. And everyone's saying, "Oh, Carolina's doesn't match up all that well against Denver's receivers. Oh, their secondary's not all that great." Well, Norman's great, and what's his name? Coleman had what 7 interceptions? I think he had another one in the playoffs. Fell on his back and
Mhm.
held onto the ball. That's playmaking, and in this game, that's what it takes. 1 or 2 big plays. I just see Carolina having so much dominance in this. Denver's wide receivers, yeah, they've got a little bit of an advantage, but Peyton was missing touchdown passes last against New England.
And he was bouncing balls that were short,
Right.
as he's doing now. I mean, let's face it, this looks like the end.
And he knows it. He said something along, "This might be my last rodeo," to Belichick, I guess
Mhm.
it was. But it was just a couple of times during that game, you just yelled out, "Oh, he missed it," because he had it and he missed it. And Miller and Ware turned Tom Brady into Tom Flinchy.
Oh wow, yeah.
That one play where he looked like he thought a phantom linebacker was going to hit him. He had already escaped the rush one time.
That's how you beat Tom Brady.
He had like a small grand mal seizure. I thought we were going to get a tuck rule moment there for a second. And I even think the injuries are almost working to Carolina's advantage, because you're going to take out Jared Allen out of more plays, and you're going to put in Coney Ely, who is faster and is going to get more pressure on Peyton Manning. So I'm afraid that the first snap is going to go by Manning's face into the end zone. There'll be a safety, and we'll be looking at that Seattle game all over again. I know the line is fairly close, but I think Carolina has a good chance of Carolina could win 2 ways. They could win close, or they could win in a blowout, which is what I think is going to happen.
I'm hedging that way too.
Denver can only win one way, keeping it very close and making a huge defensive play at the end of the game. So, Carolina.
Yeah. The keys for Carolina, I mentioned the one. They got to keep Cam upright. No, that's number one. Mike Shula is going to have to design plays that will negate the ferocious pass rush of the Denver Broncos. This is the pass rush that blistered Brady, and you know what? They blistered him. So they've got to be careful about that. And they got to get Corey Brown and Ted Ginn. I mean, you got to think, these are where's Devin Funchess and
Jericho Cutchery?
who was their number one guy that went down early?
Benjamin. Kelvin Benjamin.
Kelvin Benjamin. So here they are with Corey Brown and Ted Ginn, they're averaging 14 and 16 yards per catch, and they just got to get past the defensive back. So what Denver's got to have to do is got to keep them in front of them in order for them not to burn you, because they can scamper.
And how that happens is you go, "Oh crap, Cam's taken off. Let me charge the line to make the play," and all of a sudden
They double move.
Yeah.
The keys for Denver: keep Cam in the pocket. Don't let him roll out. Don't let him rush up the middle. And that's where I said before, you got to rush just to the pocket. Don't over-rush it, because then all bets are off. Cam can do whatever he wants there. Manning cannot throw the ball as well as he used to, so he's going to have to fool Carolina's got an aggressive D, so he's going to have to look off receivers and make a guy like Luke Kuechly bite on a route while someone else is going behind him. Whatever he's got to do.
That giant head has to be throbbing with offensive thoughts. Gugada.
It does look like that cartoon character's name escapes me. And Manning has to get the ground. The ground game has to work for Denver to be effective in this game.
And do you think it can? I mean, I thought Anderson might have some success against New England, but Ronnie Hillman, God bless him, he's trying. I just don't see him being able to run against Carolina's front 7.
Yeah, I don't see Denver winning here anyway. So that's my pick. My pick is Carolina. They just seem to have the confidence. They've got the playmakers pretty much on both sides of the ball, and sheer momentum. These guys are going in there. They're all confidently kissing their biceps together.
It's dabbing, Stu.
It's a whatever.
They're dabbing.
But they seem like a real cohesive unit. Everybody seems to like each other. You don't hear of any friction on the team. Everybody is working hard, and I see a rout here, sadly.
Does Cam, because a big topic of conversation while we wait for this stinking game is, does Cam piss you off? Does the and the running up and down the sidelines?
Well, I
Doesn't
don't like
bother you.
any of the guys doing that, but I don't care that he is. I mean, it doesn't make a difference to me that it's Cam Newton versus, Cam Wake.
Okay. I mean, you hear a lot like, oh, it's racism because when Cam Newton does it, everybody gets upset. But when what's his name, Aaron Rodgers does a discount double check, he gets a TV commercial. And I thought, that's
Interesting point.
It's a pretty good point. People are bringing up. I don't like when people showboat.
Me neither. I give the ball to the ref and pretend you were there before.
Touchdown celebration, I'm okay with. Your team picks off a pass or picks up a first down, and you're doing this. I don't like it because I lost most of my athletic contest, which means I was on the wrong ass side of that.
Mhm.
I've had it rubbed in too many times, so I don't like it no matter who does it. But Newton, I think a lot of it isn't racism. I think a lot of it is jealousy. Like Stu said, the guy's won everything that he's ever done.
Mhm.
He's a handsome son of a gun. I mean, I don't know if you've seen that commercial where he's doing pull-ups. So I'm out there. I'm in my basement now trying to do some pull-ups. And he is the MVP. He's leading a team that's had a historic year. And maybe I've underplayed them all year. I've been saying they're not a great undefeated team. They're not a great one-win team.
Well, they didn't play the hardest schedule
No,
in
they
the
did
league.
not. Not even
But they
close.
beat the crap out of
They beat the
everybody.
guys that were put in front of
Is that
them.
what you got to do? Yep, that's what you got to do.
All right, so there you go. That's electric football.
Wait, a couple thank yous
Oh.
here. I want to thank Andrew Warren for mentioning us, so we're cross-posting here. Check out Andrew Warren. Also, you can find Andrew Warren and us, if you're on Facebook, at the NFL YouTube Prognosticators, which is brought to you by Geo, who handles the Geo Knows Award.
Oh, and while we're doing this, for everybody that's complaining about Stu's little girly drink, I'm trying to get him to do better, but he's just sticking with
Jennifer,
it.
you're just jealous because I'm drinking on YouTube.
And he's so damn pretty.
I am pretty. And also, I'd like to thank another season, the Cosmos Club, for allowing us to come here, steal their booze, use their computer, and then scamper out of here with whatever money's in the cash register.
It is true. Plus, I don't want to tell you what I did in that bathroom.
Yeah, and
Anyway, people, we love you. Xander, where you been, son?
hey,
If you are, and stop unsubscribing, people. It hurts my feelings. Anyway, we'll be back next year, hopefully.
have a great Super Bowl. We'll see you then. Steve
Enjoy
Brown.
it. Stay safe. Stu Pacer.
See you next year.
Rev up the Mach 5.
Bye-bye.